Good evening. Welcome to the World of Darkness and our Vampire the Masquerade chronicle, The Rose That Bleeds, brought to you by Arc. The map's brought to you by Arkenforge. A few points of order before we get into our generic vampire shenanigans. Starting with a word of warning. Vampire the Masquerade is a darker version of our own world. Personal horror featuring centrally in the story we weave. If you're uncomfortable with themes of violence and other mature subject matters, we ask you exercise personal discretion. I am your storyteller, Nessus Nile. Now, let's meet our vampires, starting with Jammer.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing Jammer today. Jammer is our Bruja hacker. So I look forward to showing you all the cool things that she can do.
Charlie.
Hey, I'm Nick. I'm playing Charlie our Gangrel. He's the muscle and has a bit of a penchant for the animalism.
Riley.
Hi, I'm Kiki. I'll be playing Riley. They're a Malkavian con person, I suppose you could say, with the strong belief that every situation can be talked out of.
And last but not least, Sparrow.
I'm Sam. I'm going to be playing the ever-gorgeous Toreador Sparrow, a world-class thief.
With those formalities aside, let's get dark. Shall we play some vampire?
Hell yeah.
You already know.
We open our story as our vampire group is preparing to make the trip from Sydney to Melbourne. It's been a very long night. Looks like it's only getting longer. There's a dark late model SUV and you have a driver already prepared and ready to go. Your luggage is being trundled into the back and your driver, a personal associate of Angus, your mauler, is looking very pointedly at their watch and at you and at their watch and at you. Look, I know you guys are used to taking your time with this sort of thing, but we've got 9 hours to hit the road. Do you reckon you can get in the car?
I don't know, maybe. If you'd have let me drive, then we wouldn't have had this problem in the first place and you wouldn't even have to be here.
Boss says no.
All good things take time.
I mean, honestly, we could have just taken my pickup. It's got space in the back.
I do not wish to drive in a pickup.
It does smell a little funny.
It's not my fault. I don't know what crawls around in there.
No, it's absolutely your fault.
A little vacuuming never killed anyone.
Charlie takes a deep sigh and just reaches into a side bag that he has, like a messenger bag, and just begins very slowly rolling a small little cigarette for himself.
Look, I don't care if the sun comes up, guys. If you're okay to burn, that's totally fine. It's no skin off my nose, he says as he rubs his nose, but moonlight's wasting.
Wait, do you plan on driving like my grandmother?
Are we driving currently, or are we just kind of stood around the car?
Stood around the car at the moment.
Riley will kind of has been fiddling with this ornate pocket watch that they carry with them at all times, and they sort of look up as everyone's discussing time and be like, assuming we don't get hit with traffic and the traffic lights favor us, then I suspect that we could possibly make it there maybe with 10 minutes to spare.
See? No problem.
Traffic laws included.
I call shotgun.
Suppose I'll go in the back.
Long sigh from Charlie.
He just rolls his eyes and gets into the driver's seat, settling in, putting his seatbelt on.
I will reluctantly get into the back seat.
You know, once you're out of New South Wales, they have far fewer speed cameras. I'm just putting that one out there, you know. And if you use the new app, the one that I sent you, that one has all of the crowdsourced ones on there, so you can actually avoid them and you can kind of maybe worry a little bit less about the time and drive a little bit more like an adult.
Duly noted. You hit the road. Yes, it's slow going at first, getting out of the Sydney CBD. Traffic isn't so bad, but yeah, he's definitely driving more cautiously than perhaps some in our group might. You drive through the suburban areas navigating streets and homes before breaking out into rural and regional countryscapes. The land opens up. The moon is shining, catching mountains and trees. It's actually quite picturesque if you care to look out the windows. Skirting around the ACT, you're making your way towards the Albury-Wodonga border twin towns. You know you have a good few hours to get cozy and comfortable.
How many hours until sunrise?
We'll say 10.
Charlie will have the cigarette that he had finished rolling, basically, by the time they got in the car, and just sits it between cold, undead lips and just kind of fiddles with it. Never lights it, but kind of shoots glances at the rest of his coterie. A glance into the shotgun that he didn't get. A glance at the driver's seat that he would have preferred to have. And just kind of stretches, groans, feels uncomfortable, seated with everyone.
Who got the middle seat?
Who did get the middle seat?
Definitely not Charlie.
I was gonna say, based on
You would have
load
avoided
order,
that
it was
shit.
probably Riley, because Riley got in sort of second in the back.
Just the...
I think Sparrow would have fought tooth and nail to get a window seat.
This is an SUV, like a people mover, so you do have 2 rows of back seats
Right.
if you really want to
Oh, okay.
want to get into it.
So who's right at the back is more the question.
Who's the one person sitting alone at the back like, can I come too?
It's broad shoulders, flannel, and long hair over here.
Taking up most of the back row of seats.
There's a lot of the back row seats taken up. A physically imposing frame, even when hunched.
I imagine, though, you've not got much leg room.
No, very little legroom. The skinny jean rips at the knees are ripping
up around
even
the knees.
more as they're like tucked to his chest. Yeah.
You do know that you're heading towards potential work in Melbourne. The Sydney job went fairly well. You were working for the Prince. However, something happened towards the end that may have caused a bit of a bad taste in the mouth of the Sydney Prince. They have, however, been happy with your work up until that point, so they gave you basically a letter of introduction that they were couriering ahead of you to the Melbourne Prince.
You know, I really hope that letter arrives before we do, because otherwise it's going to be, you know,
Yeah.
take to the heart, head straight off, left in the sun.
Like, I'm willing to acknowledge that perhaps Operation Slippery Eel needs some work, guys, but, you know, we're not dead.
It's not my
We
fault.
are dead,
My
but we're not.
I didn't think it needed
ropes
any more.
and thingamajigs were a
Yeah.
little too slippery.
Yeah, it needs some work.
I posited we used actual eels, but no.
It goes against animal rights.
I mean, we don't do conscription.
Very talkative things, eels, honestly. It did.
Frankly, I think
Anyway.
we should treat this as a fresh start, a new leaf, if you will.
Hey, where are we going to live?
That is a good point.
Yeah, seems like a pretty reasonable
Your
answer.
driver turns around and goes,
Rather.
I was told to just drop you off at a motel, but accommodation was going to be sorted for you longer term.
What motel?
I don't know.
What's the Wi-Fi like?
Guys, I don't know this stuff, right? I was just told to drive you.
What's the address? I can Google it.
He prattles off an address for you.
I type it into my phone.
It's
Pull up the...
It's a 3-star motel.
Oh,
I dramatically lean over to Riley to look at the phone. And
I show.
I don't like that at all.
I show some reviews. Some are mixed. Some are bad. Some are good.
Yeah.
30 minutes free Wi-Fi. Great.
Let's hope they're not too piss-stained.
I mean, 3 stars normally means a relative
I've slept
decent
in worse.
cleanliness. Just don't shine a black light.
Oh, come on. I hadn't even thought of that, and now I can't stop thinking about that.
I will make sure to keep my black light secured in my suitcase.
So what kind of job do you reckon they've got us in Melbourne?
something terrible, something really annoying, something they wouldn't dream of doing themselves or getting their hands dirty with. Probably fun, almost certainly dangerous.
I'm hearing all good things right now.
Anyone ever been to Melbourne before? Bit out of the way
Once,
for me.
before I was turned, and I don't remember any of it. I went to some place called Revolver.
A curious eye would
yeah.
be raised if looked at.
I don't really remember. I think it was fun though.
That's good.
Stalked around in Queensland for a bit, but that's about it.
At least to get a bit of travel in.
I
I
have
don't get
heard
much of that.
Melbourne is the Australian version of New York, which is right up my alley. Riley kind of like fluffs up there. It's worth noting Riley wears like a button-up. If you imagine someone that's like a Broadway presenter, it's sort of what Riley dresses. It's not quite a tailed suit, but almost.
Nice. Duly noted.
Well, there's lots of rich individuals in New York. Perhaps Melbourne will be the same, and perhaps their safes will be unguarded.
Yeah.
With Riley's knowledge of etiquette and politics, do I have any idea about the Melbourne kindred political climate?
You've definitely heard rumours. Give me an intelligence plus politics roll for me, please.
All right, let me look that up.
First roll, big
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
My influence in the Camarilla, does that have any effect?
I'll say you can add a dot for that.
Very good. Oh,
How many
Brutal.
successes did you get?
it's a total failure.
Oh no.
First roll.
Good start, good start.
Off to a good start then.
It's
the big money I
too
was
good.
looking
I'm not going to spend any willpower for it.
Got it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, there's vampires in Melbourne, you guess.
Yeah. I've heard there's at least like 3 vampires there.
One would hope.
Ooh.
At least.
Ooh. Do we know what we're getting paid for this? Are we getting paid for this?
On lives.
Are we just not being killed for this?
If they don't pay us, I will find a way to get us paid.
Yeah, you will.
You do know that there is always the possibility of ingratiating yourself with the other vampires in the area. You will be working for the prince, so there is the potential of domain should you excel exceedingly well. But this is a very good opportunity for yourselves to be embedded in kindred society in Melbourne, and to start making a name for yourself somewhere where your name isn't already tainted by certain circumstances,
What we
like eels.
Eels.
Yeah.
At least it was funny.
It was very fun.
For us.
I'm going to incorporate it into a stage show. I think it would be a great entertainment.
Yeah, I hear Melbourne has a really, really good theatre kind of establishment, and that it runs late, so that's what always got me about
Do you
Sydney,
reckon I
is
could
that there was
audition?
never anything on at night. Yeah.
I reckon it would be worth a try.
Riley sort of looks off whimsically as they think about auditioning and making it big.
We could start our own theatre company.
Not really one for acting.
I'll keep the guard in the door.
All Kindred Theatre Company. I like that.
What would we call it, though?
It's got to be a pun. They're the height of humour.
There's another deep sigh, deep from within the
Your
rear
driver
of the car.
also sighs, just grips the wheel a little bit tighter and is just looking steadfastly on the road, muttering something about kangaroos and wombats to themselves.
Jam is going to be on her phone the whole time, like just incessantly typing the whole time she's talking, and kind of slyly side eyes our driver and hits play, and she's hooked the music through to the radio using the FM frequency. And starts playing just obnoxious, like really, really loud modern pop music, like TikTok pop, like really obnoxious pop music.
Again, another sigh.
Gets starts quiet, it gets louder progressively.
You get some side-eye back.
You're almost positive there's an additional beat in the music, and you notice Charlie's head pounding against the side of
It's
the car.
catchy.
That's his problem, is that it's catchy.
A hand is
like
withdrawn
once in your brains.
from the steering wheel and just turns the
No.
radio off.
Jamma, dear, we've talked about headphones.
But this is so much more fun. Especially since these modern cars are just full of electronics, and turns the radio back on remotely.
Oh my god, it's going to be a really long drive.
This is why we should have taken the pickup. It's ancient. There's no electronics in that thing.
It's analog, yes.
Boss was never going to allow
I
that.
got a whole bunch of cassettes in that shit.
At one point in the drive, Riley definitely reaches over and tries to adjust the time that's displayed on the car's radio. Very awkwardly, because they're sort of in the back seats. It's like, oh, excuse me.
Rather annoyingly, you always seem to go over a bump in the road just as you get close, so you have to go back through again.
Yeah.
It takes some time.
It takes longer than it should.
It really does. But eventually, you get the right time, you check your pocket watch again, look at it, you're confident you now have the
Okay.
correct time.
Okay. Riley lets out like a relieved, relaxed sort of.
It's a small clap.
That was bugging me for the last few hours.
Yeah, it was like a minute and a half off.
And kind of.
A minute and 15 seconds.
Right.
Who's sitting right in the back of the vehicle?
One.
Charlie.
That is Charlie.
Charlie, can I get a wits plus awareness roll for you, please?
Yeah, of course. At the fantastic risk of always getting hungrier,
And we're starting on one.
I'm going to blood
Got it.
surge.
So you roll a die and can add
Apparently, I don't
2
have-
extra to your pool.
I get hungrier.
That voice that's sitting in the back of your skull, the one that never quite goes away, just growls at you a little bit more and goes, "Let me out of the car. We can go and find something. It's fine. Just a little taste. It's fine." But you manage to push it away.
Be quiet in there. Any difficulty?
3.
That'll be exactly 3 successes.
Wonderful. It's a few hours into your ride. You imagine you're probably about halfway through where your estimated time of travel. When you swear you've seen that car overtake yours before. It's a black SUV, not unlike the vehicle you're currently driving in. Again, dark tinted windows. The number plate lights have been smashed out though. But yeah, it looks awfully familiar. You're sure the same vehicle passed you just an hour ago. But there's no real discernible features that you could identify.
Hey, I take it we didn't have a convoy taking us down here.
The driver just looks at you in the rearview mirror and says, "No, this is supposed to be an in and out."
Black SUV following behind, overtaken us a few times. Late lights are smashed out. Do you need me to point it out, or can you see it?
Well, it's the only bloody car in front of me now, so I think I've got it. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Eyes
good
on,
job,
got it.
champion.
Jamma, can you do your little hack thing? No.
Not with a car that I don't know. I can do
Just
I can
go
do
on
whatever I
how
like with this
digital
one because
cars are.
I've had time. Well, it's a network thing. I mean, I've got a remote that I can probably run
Could
through.
you see if perhaps someone accidentally has Bluetooth on in that car?
You could play
can,
that
it's a bit
awful music
far.
to them.
I can certainly try. It's a little bit far, but
Hit him with the
odds are
TikTok
low.
bump.
I mean, I had time to pair everything to this one and kind of get
I
the
just
little
remember
serial
you
numbers and
mentioning
everything.
that I should never just leave Bluetooth on. So.
Correct. No Bluetooth on. Internet of Things are out. I can certainly try.
So you want to try and pair to something in the other vehicle?
If I can connect to their Bluetooth, basically.
Okay.
Or anything that's got Bluetooth on, so...
Got it.
Other phones.
A lot of cars have Bluetooth.
A lot of cars have the Bluetooth in the whole thing. Ideally, if it's got a inbuilt GPS, if I can see that, because that'll tell me where it's come from.
Got it.
And I'd say Gemma would have like a little laptop with her.
Yep.
Like just in her handbag. And Gemma is probably not what you would expect from a Bruja hacker. She is extremely feminine, bright clothes, full face of makeup all the time, and is very, very bright and bubbly. Not particularly charming, kind of abrasive, but definitely a very bubbly, girly, feminine character who just happened to be corporate red team for a long time.
She has her charm.
Yes, to a certain degree. But yes, ideally, and if not the car's computer, if there's a phone
or something like that, yeah.
Something.
So I'll get an intelligence plus technology, and you can add your specialty to that as well.
1.
And if you would like to search the blood, you can also make a rouse check to add an additional 2 to your dice pool if you would like.
My dice are stuck.
Oh no!
No. Wait, I lost count. I think I'm okay with 8.
You'd want to hope so.
I mean, 8's pretty good.
1 would ponder.
It's pretty good.
Dice, I don't need that. Yeah. I need the 100.
Boost your phone.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Don't jinx it.
I'm very good at those. I roll those quite a lot.
Press those keys on that keyboard a bit too
1, 2,
hard.
3,
Yep.
4, 5 success.
Excellent. For 5 successes, there's definitely a few Bluetooth devices that come up just as the car gets a little bit nearer. And you start to pair to one that you think is the car's GPS. And then they brake sharply. So your driver has to skirt around them and overtake them quite quickly. But then they speed up again. You're still close enough to pair, but it does take a while to pair. Eventually, it happens.
I would like to be looking for where the car came from. If what their GPS history is telling me is their point of origin and any points that they regularly go to.
Sure. So this particular trip originated from the Sydney Harbour Bridge itself, which is unusual.
Deeply odd.
Mm-hmm. And they regularly
car in the bridge.
Regularly go to a cafe in Parramatta and a service station in Canberra. That's
I will relay
all the
that
information
to
that you get.
else. It's okay. I will relay all of that to people who likely know more than me about these sort of things. About politicking and Camarilla
Does
stuff.
that flag any domains that I might know of? Like anyone that's claimed domain over those areas?
Not especially. Parramatta's a fairly large area, so who knows? Canberra is a whole different kettle of fish. But it does strike you odd that this is like the car wasn't bought yesterday. It doesn't look like a brand new model, but it only has 3 locations stored in its GPS. That is strange.
Yeah. And not even stored, like the actual just history. There's nothing in there and it manifested in the middle of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
No, that is all the information that you get from the GPS. And Jammer's pretty damned good at what they do.
Is there anything? Because it's if I'm connecting into the car system, there would also be records of anything else that's currently connected to it. Any other devices that are currently connected?
You do get a mobile phone ID. The mobile phone did not come up in your Bluetooth list.
That's okay.
Are you able to find out if anyone owns that? Perhaps we can get an idea of who it is.
Exactly.
Perhaps we could say hi and ask why they are stalking us. Should be fun.
That would be amazing if we did that.
Do I have any further information on the car itself? Any sort of VIN number, chassis model? That I probably wouldn't be in the electronics. But
No. It's striking Jammer as quite strange. What is available and what information you're not getting. It's a bit piecemeal and weird.
In the kind of GPS history, is that a fairly continuous history in terms of timing, or are there big gaps between those three?
So the service station in Parramatta was last month. Sorry, the service station in Canberra was last month.
Yeah.
The cafe in Parramatta was last week. And then today it shows up as Yep.
Sitting up. That's not super unusual, I guess. It's not normal, but it could just be a not very
Melbourne is known for its
used
cafes.
vehicle.
But how does someone's trip start on the bridge?
Yeah, it's the manifesting a car in the middle of the Sydney Harbour Bridge that's got me confused.
Is there a possible way for someone who's good at computers to
honestly, that could have just been when they turned the electronic. They may have had the electronics suppressed before that, and had the nav system and the Bluetooth, all of that sort of thing just suppressed until that exact point when they needed it.
With the knowledge that it's odd, Riley's just gonna quietly, subtly take their hand and place it on the pistol that they carry on themselves, just in case things start to go a bit pear-shaped.
Sideways.
Understood.
Out of curiosity, I was going to ask a second ago. The tint on the windows of their SUV, completely blacked out, or could one theoretically see like silhouettes behind?
No, very blacked out. Which is unusual because you know that's not street legal.
With Eyes of the Beast. With Eyes of the Beast, would I be able to figure anything
with
out?
Eyes of the Beast, you could... bear with me 2 seconds. So, it allows you to ignore darkness that's supernatural or natural. It doesn't allow you to see through walls or like a physical barrier. I would say probably not.
That's all good. Thought I'd give it a shot.
Totally worth trying.
See how
Absolutely.
Is Riley able to try to have a premonition about the car?
You can certainly
what
try.
Is about to happen in the near future
Absolutely.
around that car?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. So premonition can be either passive or active. If you're actually pushing for one, I'll need you to make a rouse check.
Okay. So
just roll one die and tell me whether or not it's a success or a failure.
it's a bestial failure, so I'm assuming that's just a normal failure.
Just a normal failure, so you get 1 point hungrier. That voice at the back of your skull is crying for the time to go and have some food.
Soon. And then it's resolve and auspex.
Resolve and auspex for me, please. Yep. And you can choose if you would like to rouse the blood again for this and add 2 die.
You know what? Sure, let's do that. It might make me very hungry, but...
What are you currently sitting at?
I'm now sitting at 3, because I just failed again. To rouse.
Yeah, you can feel your fangs against the inside of your lip, and you can feel the need to break out of the car and go and hunt whatever is on the side of the road.
Sort of just try to squash it down, because we're in the middle of nowhere. There's not really much around that one can feed from.
It begrudgingly settles back against the back of your skull.
I got 3 successes
Okay.
for the premonition.
What does it look like when Riley is summoning a premonition?
It linking into Riley's Malk curse, it often has a lot of time and clock motifs. Perhaps it's and it will come in like sort of flashes. Perhaps it will have like, if you think of it in terms of a movie, like you see the clock face and then perhaps behind the ticking hands you might see something move.
Got it.
Or something.
And what would the others in the vehicle see as you're doing this?
They just sort of lean back into their seat and their eyes sort of roll to the back of their head, and they have the pocket watch in their hand, but they stop fiddling with it and they just kind of hold it.
Excellent. So as you lean back against the seat, you feel its curves up against your spine. You roll your eyes into the back of your head. You feel the reassuring tick, 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 tick of your pocket watch, almost lulling you into a dream state. You see the hands of a clock going backwards, pausing, then going forwards again, a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. As the hands dissipate into nothingness, you see a road that you're not familiar with, and a car is going around the street, slowly, like it's tracking something. You can look through the windscreen and actually see the driver, and the person in the passenger seat is sticking their head out of the side window and is looking up to the sky. Looks like they've got a control box or something like that in their hands. Then there's a big bang. They get back into the car and they just flee.
Okay.
And that's as you come back, your eyes flicker back forwards. You see the vehicle that you're currently sitting in, and you sit forward from the back of the seat just a little bit, still feeling the reassuring tick, tick, tick in your hand.
I'll say the coder has probably seen Riley have visions before, so they probably recognize the telltale signs. I'll sort of reach out and place my hand on Sparrow's like arm, sort of as a grounding sort of way.
I pat it.
And I'll say, bend in the road, tracking, passenger control box, bang, fleeing.
Is this about the car?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tick,
Bang
tick.
is explosive.
Bang.
Bomb.
Tick, tick, bang.
Do you know anything about this kind of thing, Jammer?
I mean, it sounds like a bomb. Were they in the car, out of the car? Did the car stop? Did it look like the car in front of us?
Did it look like the car in front of us?
A little bit, close enough. Yep.
No? Were they
Dark,
inside
big.
the car or outside the car when they had the box?
Inside, but head out, looking up.
And the car stopped? Or was the car going?
Car going, and then sped up, fleeing.
Does this SUV
After
have a
bang.
I think we should hang back a little bit. And if there's any bends in the road, maybe just give it a bit of space.
Definitely tracking.
Actually, can we stop the car for a second? Can we just stop the car? Let's just stop the car. I would like for us to stop the car.
Yes, Sparrow, this car does have a sunroof, or a moonroof in this case, and your driver does sigh and goes, "Your time you're wasting." Sure, pulls off
yes,
to
it
the
is.
side of the road.
Well, now
We'll
that
get
we're
Charlie to
driveway.
drive the rest of the way and we'll get there in plenty of time.
While we're still
With
driving,
Charlie, we'll
can
make
I
it in time.
quickly peek through the sunroof?
Sure, yep. So you just push it up a little bit and peek out.
Looking up, if they were looking up, I want to look up.
So looking up, you see the moon. You're out of the city as well, so you do see a very good, almost entrancing starscape. It's actually quite lovely.
Like little diamonds.
Like little diamonds, exactly.
Purdy.
I would like to, for the moment, heighten senses with my vision to see if maybe there's something I'm not seeing because it is dark.
Sure. Sorry, excuse me. So with heightened senses, things come into stark contrast. You can make out clusters of stars. You can see the moon and almost like sun rays, but from the moon coming down. It's very captivating. However, beyond that, up in the sky, there's not an awful lot more to see. Scanning around, you can make out each individual tree a little bit better. Some rocks over there. An errant cow. This doesn't look like farmland. Probably just wandering around. Got out of a farmer's paddock somewhere. Yeah.
Cow bomb.
All right.
Very James Bond.
Yeah.
Am I able to, as we're like pulling in now, switch it to maybe hearing to see if maybe it's one of those nasty metal birds that are following us?
Sure. I mean, if the car's still going and if Jammer's still playing obnoxious music on the radio,
Jammer will have turned the music off because while we were as soon as Jammer got that mobile ID, she is basically doing things and stuff on her laptop with that. And it was only the kind of the bang, the thing with the bang. She's like, we should probably stop the car.
Understood. So
let me take a look-see.
As you push the blood to your ears to make them operate supernaturally, you hear crickets and other insects. You hear in the distance more vehicles, but they're quite a way away. You do hear a plane, and as you look up, you do see the telltale flashes of a commercial plane going overhead, not right where you are, but kind of off in the distance a little bit. That cow moos. But beyond that,
Nice.
not
Quality content.
You're in Outback Australia. What are you thinking is going to be
Cows.
here?
No, this is
I
good.
love it.
I like cows.
I love it. Australian vampire is the best vampire.
Yeah.
Does the car in front of us stop when we stop?
It doesn't. It keeps going.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, as you were slowing down, it appeared to speed up.
I'll hop down from where I've been standing in the car looking at the...
Does it go down
yeah,
around a
sunroof.
bend?
No, this is actually, I mean, it's a gentle curve, but it's not like a bend like in your vision. No.
Not like what you saw.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look under. I'm gonna look under the car and under the hood for any wires out of place, anything that looks explosive, anything that's not supposed to be there.
All right. I will get a wits plus investigation from you, please. And if anybody else wants to join Jammer, the same
I
roll.
am not particularly good at this,
Yeah, I
so
think
please
I will,
do.
actually.
I was going to ask if I could use Sense the Unseen to see if there's anything hiding.
Sure. Absolutely.
For my Sense the Unseen, I got 4 successes.
Turning back your back to the vehicle and looking out around where you are, slowly walking around but not looking at the vehicle itself. There is a lot of spiritual activity here, as in spirits. They're giving the road a very wide berth, though. They don't want to come anywhere near it. But they're just wandering around, doing their thing, doing what spooks do. When you get to the front of the vehicle and you turn around, you see that the bonnet of the vehicle is glowing in a circular shape with quite an intricate pattern inside of it. It is bright red.
Jammer,
Yeah. can't see anything. Jem is like legs sticking out from under the car.
Bright red
there's anything
intricate
here.
circle
What?
on bonnet. Bright red intricate circle on bonnet.
Oh shit! And is going to immediately decamp from under the vehicle.
Does
I dust you off as you come up, like just
She's very, yeah.
Does anyone have any
Very,
points
very dusty
in
dirty.
occult at all?
I do.
Ooh, I do
Nope.
not.
I do not.
Cool. Make me an intelligence plus
Like-
occult roll,
Never
please.
thought about switching that out.
Okay.
Do you want to come over here? I don't really have space, but sure. Okay.
Two successes.
How many, sorry?
Now.
2.
2? You're not quite sure what this is, but you have seen this sort of thing before. It's a warding circle, which basically protection against something.
Okay.
But you're not quite sure
Probably
what this
good
is.
for us to have.
So do I think it's some kind of like blood magic or?
Yeah.
Okay. After my initial panic of calling Jammer over, I'll look at it a bit more thoroughly and then be like, wait, I think this might be of benefit to us. I think it's a warding circle,
Oh, that would
Placed
make more
by a-
sense.
perhaps by a Tramiel or something.
they are the,
Okay.
typically those who do
That
blood
might
magic.
explain the spirits around here. That they're keeping a wide berth from us.
Angus!
Yeah? He's still
Did you
sitting
put
in the
a-
driver's seat.
A thingy on the bonnet? Did you put a thingy on the bonnet? Did you or the prince or whoever put a thingy on our bonnet?
I'm guessing.
Protect us.
I'm guessing the boss has all of that magic stuff done. I don't know. I just drive him.
Okay.
Thanks.
I mean, I say we get in the car again.
I guess.
While that interaction would have been happening, Charlie would have popped out from the rear of the SUV, and I take it on both sides of the road. It's like heavily forested.
It's more scrub, so the occasional high tree, but mostly low-lying shrubs.
Real boring drive.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Charlie, who, for a bit of a physical description, as he straightens up to his full height, is about a 6'4" young man. A very rough looking, but his features are rather soft. Long mess of ashy brown hair that hangs to about mid-torso. Very worn hiking boots, very worn skinny jeans, threadbare flannel. A band shirt that probably was never mainstream popular, that's very oversized and cut off. And begins to make very odd, low, chittering sounds as he attempts to use feral whispers
Nice.
and call upon either a bat or an owl or some flying creature that can trace the car that was following and trailing us.
Awesome.
It overtook us and it went off in front, didn't it?
It did, yes.
It's
Yeah.
sped up when we slow down.
I'm gonna hope that I can send this boy. Which I get hungry.
You do get hungrier?
I do.
Excellent. What are you sitting at now?
At 3
3?
hunger now.
Welcome to the club.
3.
Come on, just a little
haven't
taste. Just a
started
little
losing
one.
blood.
I just need something little. Just take the edge off.
Shut up.
Is our driver human?
I believe I now make small animals.
Yes, your driver is a ghoul.
The difficulty is based on the scarcity of the
Yep.
animal.
So
What
are
would
you
my
going for an
difficulty
owl or a bat?
I'll say bat based on the lack of high
Got it.
trees here.
Difficulty of 3.
I am going to burn a willpower
Got it.
and just reach 3 successes.
Okay.
Good job.
Out of curiosity, how is your willpower doing these days?
Standing at a total of 5 and currently at 4.
Noted. So you stand on the side of the road, a little bit away from the actual shoulder, making these chittering noises, which I am not going to attempt to do because I don't think anybody needs that kind of.
I didn't even try either.
It takes a little while. Like you said, there's not an awful lot of trees around here, but eventually you do get a bat. How are you holding your arm out for this bat to roost on?
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's kind of an arm out ahead.
So it swoops on in, does another circle, and then comes and rests on your arm hanging upside down. What do you want to say to the bat?
He will convey a very simple message of a car like this ahead. Follow.
You get a general sense of
About it.
okay from the bat, and a couple of flaps of the wings, and it flies off in entirely the wrong direction.
Buddy. So cute
can't
though.
say I
Did you
didn't
see
try.
his little hands on the ends of his little wings?
Has an
Oh,
odd charm to it.
so cute. The big eyes. Oh, that's so cute.
It occurs to you now,
so
Charlie,
much.
that bats aren't very good recognizing cars. They tend to stay away from them.
He's doing his best.
I do wonder what it is following now, though.
It is.
I don't know that it's following anything, and maybe it has nothing.
I'm sure at some point I can call him back.
Should we perhaps get in the car? I don't think
I
there
think
is
we should
anything.
probably keep going, and I have a terrible feeling that it may not actually be about us, and the way it was driving was a ploy to get us to stop so it could continue doing what it was doing.
They did speed up,
Yeah.
and we are now going to be 10 minutes late.
Jammer did
let's
get out
go.
of the front seat, right?
Is someone going to race me to the front seat?
I am going to slide across the roof of the car to get into the front seat.
I'm impressed.
I'm in pants, by the way.
I'll let you do it. I am not, so I'm going to let you do it.
I really don't like the back seat. As much as I love. Oh my gosh, names are terrible in my head. As much as I love dear Riley, I like the front seat.
It does suit you.
It does.
Okay.
All right, so we're piling back into the vehicle.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Gemma's in the backseat now, but now that Gemma is in the backseat, she's gonna pull the the middle armrest down and put her laptop on it, and actually use it as like a little laptop table to continue looking for stuff about the mobile ID that she collected.
Got it.
Depending on what sort of ID it was, specifically whether it was an ad ID or a device ID, looking for apps, websites it's used, any kind of trends, that sort of thing.
Yep, understood. And you got a total of 7 for your original roll, didn't you? 5? My apologies. Cool. That will take you a hot minute to get together enough stuff to actually start to piece something together. In the interim, the side door closes and Angus is like, are we good now?
Yes.
Excellent.
Drive,
You in the car, Charlie?
Head pops over from the rear of the seat. Yeah, how's it going?
Car makes its way back onto the road and eventually picks up speed, going along at a fairly decent clip now. You start seeing the shrub and bush give way to some large rural pockets, sheep, more cows, actually cows that look not unlike that one cow you did see. A paddock with some goats. Like, seems very strange, but okay. The plots of
They make
land.
good cheese.
Angus notes that and goes, cool, I'll grab some on my way back.
Riley, if we go around the bend that you saw in your vision, can you tell us?
Well, sometimes the bend is more metaphorical, and it's not going to look exactly how I picture it, but If I feel like it is the right bend, I will definitely let you know.
Great. I'm so glad you're the one dealing with that, because that sounds really confusing.
I find computers very confusing, so you know. But I will sort of keep an eye out on the in front of us.
Understood. You reach the starts of the suburbs. Houses, front yards, picket fences, not so picket fences, industrial areas. You make your way through some highly populated zones and eventually pull into the Sleepy Eye Motel. Angus pulls the car into a car spot and turns the engine off. Opens the door, stands up outside and just has the hugest yawn and stretch. Says, "Are you getting out?"
I suppose, if this
How
is the
many
location.
hours until sunrise?
You can feel it. It's probably within 2 hours.
We best go to our room.
Angus says, "Yeah, cool. I'll go talk to the clerk and get your key."
Go to the boot and pop it open and pull out my
You've probably got like
bags.
a massive bag, right? The Torito's got the
In both hands, one in each.
Riley also has a decent amount of luggage. It's not two, but it's definitely like a large suitcase.
Gemma's got a overnight bag, just like one overnight bag. Like it's one of the country road bags in that kind of baby pink that they did. Yeah. And also a kind of carry-on size, very like hard, very sturdy metal case with a combination lock on it.
Noted.
I think
Charlie has a single messenger bag and a leather
Yeah.
jacket.
Sparrows are that hard case sort of
Yeah.
ones with
Yeah,
those,
two like top of the range Samsonites, yeah.
Not Louis
Like
Vuitton?
just
for
no Louis Vuitton. No, that's Bosch.
luggage gets lost so easily.
Understood.
And that's
And Louis
Gouache.
Vuitton stands out too much.
Patrick.
It does,
Noted.
but it's also got like a
I
combination
love your Jean
locks
Paul
on it and
Gaultier
stuff.
badge.
Extra security.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Angus, a few minutes later, returns. He's got a couple of key cards for you all with the room number written on them. He looks around and goes, "I reckon it's that one." It's pointing just off by a couple on the ground floor. Do you need help with your bags?
I mean, you can carry them if you want.
Help Sparrow with her bags. And start kind of dragging the metal case on my
He rolls his eyes.
overnight bag over to my room.
He rolls his eyes and makes this grandiose, "Oh, may I take your luggage?" It's very sardonic, very sarcastic.
I'll play into it and just gesture to one of the bags. I can take one of them, but I leave him the really heavy one.
Noted. He goes to pick it up and he's like, "Whew."
It's like definitely not filled with just clothing, and there is something in there.
Got it.
Is it like one large something that's suspiciously like doofs?
No, it's so. I imagine one of them is filled with like actual clothing, and the other one's filled with like various like pulleys and levers and ropes for like old school
Oh, I thought you were
espionage.
I was going to say like
thievery.
shoes or something.
Oh, and those.
Oh yes, definitely.
Well, that too.
Nice.
I said old school espionage. That absolutely includes at least 3 pairs of boots.
Oh, definitely. She's wearing some nice sort of combat-y boots. Definitely nice and shiny, blinged out.
Yes.
Got it. He goes to pick up the suitcase with one hand, pauses, and when he doesn't just heft it up, goes, "Whew.
Having a bit of trouble.
Nope, I've got it. It's fine."
Good. This way.
Picks it up with 2 hands and is just like,
Riley's suitcase has wheels, so they just wheel theirs.
So does this one.
Angus
I'm
is
not
not
correcting
the
him.
sharpest crayon in the tool shed,
As soon
honestly.
as he picks up the heavy one, I just pop the handle and start wheeling the other one along.
He pauses for a second and goes, "Yeah," puts it down. plays with it for a second and then goes, oh no.
I was going to say, Riley walks up and like pops the handle for him.
Thanks.
No problem.
Don't tell anyone about this, okay? He looks like
not.
beetroot red, super embarrassed.
Riley's definitely going to put this in a stage show.
Of course.
Good comedic scene.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah. You make your way into the room. It is a single room for all of you. There's 4 single beds in there, but you do note that this room on the outside, as you approach it, does have roller shutters that come down, and very heavy curtains that look like they're thermobacked, that go well past the sides and the top and the bottom of the window. There is no skylight in the bathroom or anything like that.
Okay.
Which is very
I think I
interesting.
know why they picked this place.
Well, I wonder if this is owned or perhaps controlled
Kindred
by
owned and
Kindred.
operated.
Tends to be a lot of safe houses are like that.
Only the best, I suppose. Which bed looks
Well,
tidy?
only the least suspicious.
Angus goes, yeah, the kid at the front looked really scaly. It's probably NOS owned. I don't know. Either that or he's just got a really bad acne case.
Some people just have a skin condition.
Yeah, this is really bad though.
Okay.
I don't know.
This place, I reckon NOS. My money's on NOS.
Angus, are you going to be keeping watch during the daytime, or what's your role?
No, I was told just to drop you off and then head back home, but the clerk's going to check in on you tomorrow night, I think. I think that's what they said.
Can you ask him to perhaps knock, because I don't want him to walk into one of Sparrow's traps.
Yeah, noted. No one needs that in their life. I'll let him know.
I don't need a repeat.
No, the eels last time were just too much, okay?
They were fake eels, at least.
They didn't feel
Were
fake
they, though?
flinging me in the face. That wasn't fun.
You can
would've-
thank
those
me
ones
for
weren't
production.
The ones that we tested weren't fake. Those were real.
I
But then we decided it was
slime
best
out of one of my
to use fake ones, because,
Because
like
of
I
the
said,
slime.
the animal...
Look, it was just really messy. I'll let him know. Do you guys need anything before I go?
blood? Is there any food around here?
I haven't got anything in the car. I'll go check with the guy at the front.
Thanks.
He might have to deliver it tomorrow,
Thank you,
though.
Angus.
Okay.
You're welcome. Stay out of trouble, guys. Yeah?
Of course.
Yeah, sure, peace out.
Of course.
Don't believe you for a second.
For
And he just
hooligans.
turns around and walks out, closing the door behind him. You hear something about fucking eels as he leaves.
No, Angus, don't do that.
Not the eels.
We are going to give that boy a complex one of these days.
Good, he needs one. He's too boring. He could do with a good complex.
Sometimes boring. Humans like boring. I don't know why, but they do.
Do
Drives
they?
like
I never
shit.
did.
While this is happening, I'm going to go over to one of the beds and
Oh,
just,
but
like,
then again, I
smooth
was
out
made
the
into a vampire, so that
sheets.
probably...
Yes.
Yeah, just check them.
You know, did your sire ever give you the whole "there was something special about you" spiel?
Oh, not really. You just asked if I wanted to be a vampire, and I thought it sounded cool, so I said yes.
Mine said something about wasted
ask.
potential. You're special. You could do so much more.
That's a trip.
Yeah.
I just sends me memes. Good meme game.
I got bit by a snake in Royal National Park.
What?
Is that why you said no to the slippery snake? That makes sense now.
It's he kind of brushes the messy hair out of the way, and you do see the kind of one inhumane feature about him are these part feline, part serpentine, slit-like eyes that he has that are very bright green.
Yeah, that tracks.
Good that he has a hunch and is always looking down.
Yeah, that tracks. So is your sire a snake?
If we're not gonna get...
No, he's not a ministry.
I think it...
That's their thing.
What?
I don't
Well,
think
that would
they're
be
actually snakes, though, are they?
I've heard things. Apparently, some are.
Look, we don't want to get the ministry on our bad.
No.
We don't want to be on their bad side.
They are attempting to rebrand, and we should respect that.
Better way of wording.
Yes.
There's a knock at the door.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's them.
Who has people skills?
I have people skills.
Somebody else can open the door.
I'm fantastic at this.
I'll back up Sparrow because I also have a bit of people skills.
I'm just straight up sitting on the floor, gremlin moding on the laptop.
Got it.
There are people.
There is.
Can I peek through? Is that Angus?
It's Angus with someone standing behind them.
I will just fling the door open.
So,
Welcome back.
yeah, can't get away. This is Nick. Nick, say hello. The tall, lanky kid behind him goes, hey.
What's up?
Hello.
So I'm the desk clerk. If you need anything, let me know. Can't get your blood until tonight. He's not making eye contact with any of you.
Smart.
If you need anything, I can get it for you tomorrow night. Just give me a shopping list, and I'll have it dropped off. Angus pats him on the shoulder and goes, "See, it wasn't that hard, was it?"
Just enough blood to make up about 2 humans, which I think is about... How many gallons is that? I
14?
don't remember.
Yes, hey, I don't have any medicine dots.
Yeah, I can get some dropped
I have
off.
no
It's
dots.
fine.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Who owns this establishment, Nick?
That'd be Angie.
Does
Is
that name ring a
Angie
bell?
Kindred?
Yeah. Look, I've got to get back to work. Can I go? Angus just grips his shoulder
yes.
a little tighter. Goes, no, you're going to answer all of their questions first.
You're new at this, aren't you, Nick? You're not that familiar with how this goes.
Well, I know what you are. It's my first job, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How sweet.
Don't.
He's trying
So
very
anyway,
hard.
is Angie like us or like you?
No, she's like you.
Okay. So that's what we call kindred.
Yeah, I know.
Just letting you know.
I said that.
Okay.
She's kindred. Look, I need to get back to my desk.
Just make sure to knock and not just open the door when you come and talk to us.
He looks at you pointedly, Riley, and just goes, I'm not a monster.
You'd be surprised. Some people don't seem to know how to shut a door.
Well, that's just dumb.
I know, right? Do either of them have watches on?
Angus does. Yes.
Angus, before you leave, can I just, and I'll just politely, like, tentatively reach out, but also in a way
Step
that so
to the
that he
side.
can't, like, stop me. Just reach out and just, like, start to fiddle with the.
No,
I just noticed it was.
I had it set 5 minutes early so that I'm always early.
No, it needs to be. It's not even 5
Unthinkable.
minutes. It's 4 minutes early.
Do you want it 5 minutes early?
No, it
It
has
also
to be
never works.
accurate.
He just sighs and closes his eyes, releases his grip on Nick's shoulder and just goes, it's all good, man. I don't know how long they're going to be, and gives you his arm. He doesn't take the watch off. He's just offering his arm.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, I think they just need refreshments for the next evening. I'm fine. I can source my own.
Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm all right.
Cool.
Though I might take a little bit. We'll see how I feel.
I'm
I need
ravenous.
something.
We'll see how I feel when I
Riley
wake up.
says, lifting up their
Angus's
face from
arm suddenly gets
Angus's,
a lot
like, yeah.
heavier, and he's like, really? Really?
I was gonna say while Riley's right there near the artery vein.
He just looks at you very pointedly and goes,
I
don't
have
think,
a lot of self-control.
yeah, I don't think the boss would like it.
They do.
I know.
Good.
I'm
Just
standing right
relax.
here. I
So we're
can
on the same
stop
level.
them.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Cool.
I'm not a monster.
I never said
And Riley
What?
does it in a way that sounds like almost mocking Nick.
got it.
Mm.
Got it. We good? Because
Yes.
he looks off to the side and he goes, yeah, you guys need to shut down now.
You need to
Oh,
get that
yes.
tuned. It seems to want to go out of sync a lot.
Yeah, it's old. Right. So
I know a guy.
he points around inside in the door. So there's a air conditioning, what looks to be an air conditioning remote control. But as you look at it a little bit closer, Sparrow, you see that there's shutters up, down,
Ah,
Lovely.
and he just presses the down for you and goes, right, well, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, is anyone picking us up tomorrow night?
Nick said something about when guests come here, normally they're met with letters, invitations. You guys already have the letter of introduction sent ahead of you, so I would assume so. I would just
Fingers crossed.
just sit tight. They know that you're coming. They'll
Mhm.
probably summon you or something. Don't go wandering.
Classic.
Don't go wandering. New town, new city. You don't want to set off a bad impression first up, right?
that's fine. I don't like walking.
Charlie, don't go for your walks.
He's leaning against a wall, arms crossed, and a middle finger just slides out over to them.
Please wear some sunglasses, perhaps.
Big hat.
It's more that he takes a few hours and turns off the cell phone, or sometimes doesn't even take
I like
it.
the
And
Angus is
Yeah,
just
and we don't have a
slowly
few hours.
stepping back.
I'm just going to slowly shut the door as we
Yeah.
talk.
Bye.
Bye. Couple of seconds later, you hear the car start up and drive away. And you do all indeed feel the heaviness that normally accompanies Sleepy Bobo's time. You feel the sun is coming up. Everything's just a little bit harder to move. As the shutters in the window settle and you hear the motor whirring down, you do hear the start of birdsong heralding sunrise.
Go lay in my
Oh, I'm
bed.
out. Just gremlin mode on the floor, just straight out, just against the wall, just.
just before Riley goes to sleep, they sort of ponder out loud to anyone else that's still awake and be like, I hope Angus doesn't get exploded.
Make interesting news.
Yeah.
Serve him right for driving so slow.
He was obeying the speed.
Anyway, so we don't all wake up hungry. I'm gonna go sleep in the bathroom.
I'm leaving a pink lipstick
It's
stain
for
on the
precautions.
wall, slowly sliding.
I throw a pillow.
It goes really nicely against the yellowed
And it's
paint.
just.
Throw a pillow so he can take it in the bathtub.
Do you want a blanket at least, Charlie?
There is no pillow. He just walks in, messenger bag in one hand, leather
Yeah,
jacket
you're
in the other.
basically dead when you're asleep. You don't have to be comfortable.
I don't need comfort. Yeah.
You're a corpse
Turning
when you're
down my-
sleeping. It's
Pillow off.
Yeah, but it's not nice to be reminded of it every time you wake up. And passing out in bathtubs, Riley's not fond of. Brings back bad memories.
Jam is a gremlin at heart.
I just
Charlie literally just sits down in the middle of the bathroom, throws the jacket over his shoulders, and just leans his head back.
Riley will take what was Charlie's single bed and push it up against another one so that Riley now has a double bed.
Nice.
Sparrow can probably do the same because Jam is out against the wall.
I do. I most certainly do.
Awesome.
And sit up on the smooth sheets. I just realised I never described what Sparrow was wearing. Basic, sturdy, sort of leathery looking jeans. Designer combat boots, if you can believe it. a nice sort of shirt underneath and a leather jacket with a bit of a fur trim. Very stylish, but functional.
Nice. Excellent. So, as you stare up at the ceiling, for those who still have their eyes open, you see the popcorn stucco that's definitely seen better days, and you hear the sounds of people starting to get up and get on with their day when everything just goes black and you are in the day sleep. Time passes strangely when you're in the day sleep. It's not like sleeping, it's you're there 1 minute and then you're gone. And as soon as you feel your eyes close, just a few seconds later, they're open again and you are once again at full consciousness. I will get everyone to make a rouse check for me, please.
Fingers crossed, Charlie. We got this.
That's a fail for Sparrow.
I will have a problem if...
Yeah, you will. Well, we'll have a problem with you if you fail. I'm all good.
Ooh.
I feel like that's a fail.
Huh.
I'm now at 4 hunger.
Right, good start.
Charlie is at 4 hunger, and when he awakes, his palms, his feet, and his forehead are leaking
Oh,
vitae.
good. I really like that. Cool. That's a
just
fun
what
one.
I need, the smell of blood.
Yeah.
Sort of like Winston.
Love me some stigmata. That's fun.
So, Riley, that voice, those claws at the back of your skull are aching to get out. You need to eat. We need to eat. You need to get me something. If you don't, you know what's going to happen.
Riley will sort of reach out and put a hand on like the wall, because I imagine I'm sort of pushed up against the wall with the bed, and just like it's worth noting Riley has long fingernails that are almost like talons, but they're like they're not super sharp, but they can be, and in this sense they sort of like crack into the plaster and like scrape down it as Riley tries to cage the beast, and we'll just sort of be like, Sparrow, are you awake?
Yes.
I need you to get me blood. Like right now.
I will go see how Desk Nick is handling
I will come with you because I can hear some odd sounds from the bathroom.
Big
I expect Charlie also requires blood.
Yes.
Sounds like it.
It's interesting to note that, yes,
Let's go.
the smell of vitae is thick in the air.
Let's go.
I'm going to hop my legs off the bed and look through the peephole, make sure it is dark. Then go up.
Meh. Yeah, it'd be a mistake.
It is 100% dark, yes, except for the lights that are lighting, obviously, the car park area.
And I'm going to, as we're walking over to the office, I'm going to pop on ore so that we can get extra blood bags just in case.
Noted.
Good idea.
Nick is sitting behind the desk. It's very brightly lit in here. But as he sees you come up, he like flicks a switch beside him and it's a little bit dimmer now. He's turned off a couple of the lights.
Appreciated.
Thank you. I actually quite like the lights. I'm a big fan of neons, fluorescence. Love it all.
Yes.
What
You're not, though. Sparrow's
washes
not
me
into it.
out?
Hi. How can I help?
Hello.
Hi. What can Hi. What can I do for
I was
you?
wondering
I
if
don't have aura on. I'm assuming I'm just being completely
No, you get a
ignored.
cursory hi and then the attention's right back on Sparrow.
I was wondering if you had those bags of vitae for us.
Yeah, sure.
I've got two very awfully hungry friends.
Oh, that sounds bad. Yeah.
It is.
Hang on a second. And he turns around, but like takes his sweet time, taking his eyes off you, and opens a mini fridge, like a bar fridge, behind him. and pulls out a cooler bag. Goes, I got a few of them. I didn't know like how hungry you guys were going to be. I didn't know your taste, so I just kind of got some of all of them.
I don't think they mind.
What's your favorite? What do you like?
There's a faint like sound of something being smashed against a wall in the distance.
Oh,
I'm going to take some of those and go.
I'm just going to give the cooler over.
I'm going to go.
noted.
Apologies about that vase.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
assume it was a vase.
Above my pay grade, don't care. So, are you planning on being here for very long?
Well, as long as the city will have us.
Oh, I think that's a pretty long time. Come on, look at
You would
you.
be surprised.
He pauses for a second and goes, oh shit. Okay. It looks like he's like, I wasn't prepared for the conversation to go this long. What do I say to a woman who actually wants to hold a conversation with me? Well, you know, it's really nice that you're here. I think you'll like Melbourne. It's a really pretty city, not as pretty as you. You're pretty.
It looks like a very wealthy city, so I think I'm going to have lots of fun.
Yeah, loads of rich toffs. I
Wonderful.
can show you some spots later if you'd like.
Just write it in a little list for me, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe we can see some of them together. I can show
A
you.
list is good as well.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I can write you a list.
Just I like to have it physically there to file away and.
Yeah, no, I can totally do that for you. That's fine.
I'm old. My memory is not as good as it used to be.
Oh, you're not that old.
I have a very good skincare regime. Well, I'm now going to go make sure that my friends have not torn each other apart.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Nick.
Bye.
Gonna just walk out, shut the door, try and get in the good graces so that if we
He's
break
just
four vases,
staring
it'll be
after
okay.
you as you walk by. And he's like,
When we break things.
When we break more vases, it'll be okay. Because Nick likes me.
I was going to say, the scene that I suppose Jammer, if Jammer left us, walks into is not vases broken. It's any and all things that tell time have been smashed to pieces. Like all like alarm clocks.
There's definitely those terrible digital alarm clocks that don't ever quite dim enough.
Oh, I hate those.
Jammer walks in to Riley, literally stomping on one, fangs out, sort of looking very bestial.
Same, buddy. Same. And I'm going to just like toss over a blood bag.
Immediately rips into it.
Nice. What is coming from the bathroom?
It's oddly quiet, aside from a low hissing.
I'm going to...
Very eerie, shortly dispersed kind of.
In the back of your skull, you are hearing... It's not quite words. It's kind of guttural growls and almost phrases. Like you're hearing something through water, but you know it's angry and you know it wants out.
I'm going to open the door to the bathroom really quickly, toss a blood bag in, and then close the door again.
Yep. Nope.
And then I'm going to leave the cooler in the middle of the room.
Got it.
Free for all.
And just kind of like park myself at there's like an ugly armchair and a desk.
Yeah, no, there absolutely is. But like the half-width desk that you can't quite ever fit a laptop on properly.
Yeah. I'm going to make do.
Yeah. Excellent.
I will consume the blood.
Both Riley and Charlie can go down one hunger point. You'll need to come and consume some more if you want to alleviate your
How
hunger
many?
anymore.
How many bags are there?
In the cooler bag, there are 7 bags in total.
Okay. Riley will consume at least 1 more to go down to 2 hunger. What about Charlie?
Yeah, the door from the bathroom will open, and you see the sight that is Charlie. He's face strewn with his own vitae, and the vitae of the blood bag. His hands kind of just grabs the sheet off, I guess, the closest bed to the bathroom, and just starts wiping his hands. Face.
You could shower.
Feels the kind of wet squeegee in his shoes, and picks up another blood bag.
It's a
It adds character.
pretty confronting sight, but it is one that you guys have seen before.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of once Riley's down to just 2 hunger and can sort of regain a bit more of their sense of self, we'll sort of is Jammer or Sparrow in the room? Sort
I think we both are.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
By this point, Sparrow
okay.
would definitely be back in, yeah.
I look
We'll
at
sort
the
of
sheets
turn
and
to the
sigh.
2 of them and say, before Charlie and I finish this off, do you guys need any?
Not a
No.
bag.
I'm okay. And besides, it'll keep, like, for me, I mean, I can hang on to 1 or 2 and I can
Yes.
have it down the road. I'm not picky.
I am.
I mean, if
I'll
we
bet.
can have 1 more, that would be great. It would really.
Yeah, go for it. Because I've got the iron gullet thing going on, so I can just
Yeah, so you guys have
you
seen
think you
Jammer
wanna-
have some pretty gross stuff in the past.
yeah, like big gamer gremlin vibes where there's just, you know, you've walked in when she's in the middle of something like a 3-day long hack, and there's just like congealed blood bags everywhere.
It's like the Mountain Dew of Vitae. It's just pretty gross.
Exactly. It's the Mountain Dew and Dorito crumbs of Vita.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Riley. This is not Riley's like ideal feeding, but beggars can't be choosers in this current situation.
Yeah. So the beast in the back of your brain, as you do grab the second bag, is like, look, next time, can we let's just do better, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll try.
No, we can do better.
Yeah, people love us.
Absolutely. We're awesome.
I know.
Cool.
Do we just see Riley
No.
speak to us?
No, it's internalized.
Yeah. But I mean, it's something we all do when we get hungry enough.
Oh, yeah.
It's maybe a little bit of a mutter, like under the breath of "I got this," kind of like
Yeah.
self-assurance.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's all internalized. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry about the sheet, Sparrow.
I'm sure they have spares.
I mean, it's quite difficult to get out of, but perhaps I can suggest to Nick to invest in some red sheets for the special suites.
Or at
You
least
could also just take a shower. I think I have some shampoo in my suitcase.
I would rather
I saw
they
you
stay
pack
wiped
3
so
different
that I
kinds.
know that they're
Quizzical
clean.
isn't.
I like smelling like fruit salad. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I'm sure the motel. Charlie, did you notice if they had those little bottles of shampoo and conditioner?
They were definitely
This
in
entire
there.
conversation is not met by a. Oh no, up you.
At the thought of them using the tiny bottles of shampoo, I'm just gonna clip open my thing and hand over like strawberry scented shampoo.
Fancy.
Nice.
I was gonna say the look he gives is not quizzical. It's like somewhere between "Why are you handing me this?" and "I'm going to tear this bottle of shampoo in half if you bring it any
I
closer
have
to
apple
me."
if you don't like strawberries.
Charlie, go shower.
If we're going to see the prince,
Yeah. It's the
Remember,
it's the
new
vitae.
leaf.
Returns to the
Turning
bathroom,
over.
the door closes.
Yeah.
the leaf can't be covered in dried vitae.
Yeah. It's a bad leaf.
The water turns on. However, Charlie definitely just takes his boots off, changes his socks, sprays.
I was gonna say,
turns the water off and comes back out.
While you start taking your boots off, Riley goes, I don't hear the water stop hitting the ceramic of the bathtub, Charlie.
There's like 2 humorous splashes of water from the... 2 just humorous water splashes of water against like the wall.
Are we talking like toddler level? No, I'm totally having a shower. Splish splash. Is that what? Nice.
Literally.
Nice.
Exactly.
Charlie, don't make me get Sparrow to break open this door so that we will bathe you like we did that other time.
I'm out. I'm not doing it.
I still have the cuffs.
Kinky.
I was going to say, I'm not sure how he responds.
just silence.
The splashing stops.
Just the have a call.
The
I
splashing
stole them off
definitely
a
stops.
security guard. They've come in handy.
You don't need to explain yourself,
guards.
darling. It's okay.
No kink shaming
You'll have
kindred
our
in my
vices.
game.
You
Thank
hear
you
us.
very much.
Very
Oh, exactly.
vague.
That Venn diagram's a circle.
Oh, of course not.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. There is a slightly more concerted effort from the sound of the water no longer just splashing against the
Options
ceramic.
were made. Were weighed. Choices were made.
Yep.
Rid of the cuffs.
Riley says this in a way that's like not quiet enough so that if Charlie is trying to overhear, he can, but not loud enough so that it's like overtly. But we'll sort of say like, I don't mean to stereotype, but he is acting a bit like a dog, isn't he? That doesn't want to bathe.
I thought maybe the strawberries would be enticing.
Maybe we should buy him some like, what do they call it? Like man diesel rainforest.
Why don't
whatever.
we buy him some like horse shampoo or something?
Hair, mane, and tail.
That seems insulting.
mane and tail.
We can just buy him the one that's like man shampoo.
Water turns off.
I know there's a
It's
type of
efficient,
shampoo
right?
that's like 7 different things in one.
Yeah.
It's
Efficiency.
like shampoo,
With hair as long as that. Do you really want him to
conditioner,
use a combo?
moisturizer, and
I want him to use something.
Mouthwash.
Anything.
At this point, there is a knock on the door again.
Pointedly going back to the laptop.
I'd go over to the door.
Are you looking through the peephole again?
Most definitely.
Excellent. Question: do you still have ore up?
Of course.
Of course. Sorry, I'm asking the Toreador.
Imagine meeting
Fill in.
somebody and not having them be in awe of you. Just no.
Angus didn't count because he had to drive us. There was no.
Didn't want to distract him.
Noted.
Yeah.
Angus doesn't count.
He feels hurt on his way back to Sydney for no apparent reason.
Doesn't know why.
He's like,
As you look through the peephole, it is Nick there, and it looks like he's holding something in his hands.
no, little.
Oh, hi.
Open it enough so the sheets are visible.
Are or are not?
They like a full-on open the door.
I
Got it.
imagine
I
they're
am
like
in
crumpled
full
on the
view.
ground.
Got it.
Frame.
Yeah, half on the bed.
Got it.
Half floor.
Hi, how are you? He looks down at the sheets.
We had an incident.
I did tell you they were hungry.
Oh. You know, we can... That's fine. It's totally fine.
You should get some red sheets.
Do,
Or charcoal,
you,
at least.
Do you like red sheets?
It just hides the
It
blood.
doesn't stain.
Oh. I can
Why do
suggest
you
to the
think
boss.
most
No,
of
no,
us
that's a
wear
great
red?
idea.
It's
That's a good idea,
But
yeah.
also, if you just soak those sheets in like some nappy sand and some bleach relatively soon, it should get most of the blood out.
Yeah, no, we've got a company for that. He's talking to Riley, but transfixed by Sparrow. But yeah, no, our laundry company's totally fine.
Just to confuse him, Riley is going to activate ore.
He looks at Sparrow and then
Come out and activate eyes.
at Riley and is like, whoa.
this is
I
happened
imagine
before. This is-
Riley's like leaning over Sparrow's shoulder, so it's very full on.
So, party time. indicates to the sheets.
What have you got in your hands there?
What? Oh,
I put my hand out.
It's a letter. It got courier. A courier came and dropped off the letter. Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks. His voice breaks just a little bit. Thanks. Sorry. Yeah.
Just go get some water for that.
If he wasn't already owned, I would claim him in a second. Yes, Riley says that out loud in front of him.
He just smiles and goes, okay.
Thank you, Nick.
Bye-bye.
Bye. He steps back but doesn't break eye contact.
Just shut the door.
He like peeks around the door as it closes. Oh, okay. And you hear slow, forlorn footsteps back to the desk.
Open the letter now.
Excellent. The paper in your hand, Sparrow, is actually quite lovely. It's almost like linen paper, that heavy textured feel. It's cream, not white. And on the outside,
I know what they're doing.
outside in quite flourished writing, it says welcome. As you open it, just a single card of quite heavy cardstock is inside, a single sheet, and it says, the prince will meet with you this evening. A car is being sent. Regard for appearance is always appreciated. There is a matter of some delicacy and urgency that we believe you may assist with.
Wonderful. Go open up my suitcase again and I hand the letter around to everyone so that they can give it a read. But upon reading,
fancy.
dressed nicely. Oh my
You
God.
get very excited.
Good hand.
Lost in the sauce.
It's also, the writing is immaculate. Like, this is someone who quite clearly takes pride in their handwriting.
I think I'm going to enjoy this prince greatly.
Sarah, can you just go through my bag and pick out something for me to wear?
Again?
Well, you're better at it.
Naturally.
You told me to buy them. You told me what to buy. They're all so pretty, and I can't choose.
Fine, I suppose, if I have the time.
Thank you.
Two different things. Choose this thing.
Excellent. So what preparations are everyone else making?
Riley puts on some high-waisted slacks and a button-up shirt with a nice, almost like a pirate shirt, if you can picture, with the big floofy collar, as well as a brightly coloured bow tie.
What colour is the bow tie?
We'll say green matches their eyes.
Nice. And Charlie, what is...
Pink lipstick and a flower crown.
I can work with that.
Charlie finishes off drying his hair, comes out in like the big towel tie up above his head. He takes the flannel off and ties it around his waist.
Let me brush it,
and instead
please.
just throws the leather jacket on. There's a deep sigh at that, and he goes to his little messenger bag and pulls out a brush and hands it over to Riley as he sits kind of cross-legged.
I imagine this
on
brush
the
has
floor.
probably seen better days. There's, spokes missing or bristles missing. The handle's probably been
Yeah.
chewed.
Decades.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Seen better days, as a lot of Charlie's accoutrements.
Noted.
Riley makes a mental note that perhaps for Charlie's birthday or Christmas that they'll get him a hairbrush.
Excellent.
I think
Nice to
Seems to enjoy brushing out Charlie's hair.
outfit-wise, I think Sparrow would have put on sort of suit pants and a matching suit jacket, but the shirt underneath is like one of those sequiny
love it.
like
the camisole, like the drapey camisole things.
yeah, like it drapes down. It's not quite cut flat. Like
Yeah.
drapes.
It's cut on the bias with the sequin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So that you've got
It's
some
sequiny,
business
it's like a
and then
wave.
shimmy.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice. I approve
Business
of
shimmy
this
is my
look.
favorite.
And
Like
then
you're there for a meeting, but you're also happy to party.
Yeah.
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 You know.
Yeah.
Meeting might be in a cocktail bar. Who knows?
Who knows?
Exactly. And then, a couple of various tools hidden into convenient places.
What tools does Sparrow have hidden about her personage?
I think lockpicking tools for sure,
Mm-hmm.
hidden down the shirt for ease of access.
Yep.
I like to think a small pocket knife, a glass cutting tool.
As in like a suction cup
cuffs.
and then
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, one of those. Like old school sort of, And probably a very small sort of like velvet bag. It's empty currently.
Right.
for
I
any
see.
trinkets one might come across, perhaps.
You have to
That might
always
just-
be prepared.
Accidentally fall in.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Whoops, my glass cutter slipped. Now there's jewelry in my bag.
Oh, how'd that get there?
A shame.
Noted. And what have you chosen for Jammer to wear?
Well, given the bright pink lipstick and the flower crown, I think some sort of skirt. Maybe like a long pleated skirt that
The
matches
biggest
the
one in
lipstick.
there. The fluffiest one in there.
Nice.
And then maybe some sort of, simple shirt and then one of those like cropped Letterman jackets. But it's also brightly coloured.
Nice.
Yeah. She's not necessarily like the rainbow stuff, but it's all definitely like feminine and girly and pretty and
Oh,
and
yeah, it's like-
frothy and
Like bubblegum pink. Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Nice. Nice. Excellent. Is there any preparations that anyone wants to make before they get picked up by the car that is being sent for you? You also note that there is no specific time, but you were told that there is a matter of some urgency. So you imagine it's probably not too long.
I'm just going to put like a really, really slimline USB down my bra.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of those real little
Taught you well.
just keys.
Yep.
Yep.
Riley will grab one of the blood bags and put it in their like little side messenger bag they carry on them.
Yep.
Good idea.
I believe
Charlie will,
there's 4 left.
Take a
so.
blood bag.
Yes,
as
there is
well.
Yep.
4
I
left.
think we just take one each.
Yep. So everyone is armed with at least one blood bag. Got it.
Yep.
I have one
if-
just in case, but I probably
Yeah, I can put
won't.
yours in my bag. I've got my laptop
Please
bag, so I
do.
always have my laptop bag.
I don't like carrying bags. It's just such an inconvenience. I like to be hands-free.
But they're such a great accessory.
They are, but it's
I've just got one of those
much
RFID
prefer
protective,
pockets.
like very, very bright, fluffy clothing, and then just a black RFID
Got it.
laptop bag.
Yeah.
Like protective laptop bag.
Yeah. Noted.
Charlie will also conceal a handgun on his person, kind of like a Vietnam War
Nice.
era kind of standard
Got
issue pistol.
They might want our weapons when we check in.
Almost certainly.
You know, if we're going to see the prince, it's generally polite to not come in armed, just letting you know.
I am also going to say that I have
Whether or
a
not Charlie is still
handgun because I have a point in firearms. So
Nice.
in response to what Riley said, whether or not Charlie's still having his hair brushed out, he does just flex one of his arms and is like, "Can't take this away
Of
from
course,
Oh my
darling.
god.
I love
And
it.
then Riley like pats the flexed arm.
Yep.
I love it. Non-dispensable guns. I love it. Excellent.
They can't disarm me.
the best kind."
Wonderful.
Is there?
If Charlie lets Riley doesn't stop them, they've definitely like braided Charlie's hair and then
Yes.
pulled a ribbon out of nowhere and tied it on the end with a ribbon.
What color is the ribbon?
So long the fringe
Yeah, the fringe
hangs
hangs
free.
free to frame the face, obviously.
Excellent. What color is the ribbon, Riley?
That's good. Cover the eyes.
Charlie, what color are your eyes?
They're like a very vibrant
And
green.
then they're also green.
Excellent.
Different shade to the green that Riley has on the bow tie,
Mm-hmm.
but still green.
Lime green, maybe?
Sure, we'll go with that. It complements Charlie's eyes.
Noted. Yeah, it picks up on some of the flecks in his eyes.
Yeah, it's like if you were able to get close enough to Charlie to stare into the little like differences of their eyes, you would see that there are like the lighter hues in there.
Nice.
How Riley knows that, who knows?
I mean, you guys have known
As
each other a long time. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
As we stand up, I make sure to straighten the bow tie.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Excellent. As this is going on, the shutters do raise. No one's pressed the button, but you imagine there's probably a timer on these as well. There's a sound of a car pulling up right outside in the car park. It's one of those motels that you can obviously like drive right up to basically your front door and park. And you hear a door open and the crunch, crunch, crunch of hard shoes against gravel before tap, tap, tap of them against concrete. Couple of seconds of
I
silence.
suppose we should file out.
And then
Oh,
Looks
I'll open the door this time.
you're looking through the peephole, or are you just opening the door?
Oh no, yeah. Go ahead, you can open the door.
Riley just opens
We're
the door.
expecting someone.
Yeah.
Excellent. In front of you is a very sharply dressed woman. She is in a dark blue skirt suit with a thin red pinstripe through it. She has some silver kind of brooch on her lapel. It's kind of nothing in particular. It's just a geometric sort of shape. But it's very interesting. And Sparrow, it looks very well made. Her dark hair is pulled back away from her face in a very tight bun. Her makeup's quite low key, but it looks like she's either put some effort into it or this is just how she does her face day in, day out. So it's like, well, not breathing because you don't do that anymore. She looks...
So she's kindred?
Oh, yes, absolutely. The eyes aren't blinking. She's just standing there.
Not breathing.
Right. So this is what we've got to work with.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yes.
I'm like peeking over the shoulder.
Well, one does what one must. My name is Vespa.
I'm Riley.
Quite. And Riley, you're associate?
Sorry. Yes, this is Sparrow.
Right.
This is Jammer, and this is
Hi.
Charlie.
Lovely.
Motioning to each one as I say their names.
Lovely to make your acquaintance. Would you care to come with me?
Of course. Are you
Yes.
here to take us to... And I'll sort of hold up the welcome envelope.
Yes. Yes, I am. I don't generally come to places like this establishment for fun.
Oh, neither do
Neither.
we.
It's quite painful, isn't it?
One might use the word horrendous.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi shit house. Are we bringing all of our bags, by the way?
No, I believe...
Please tell us yes, we don't want to come back here.
Well, I don't want them in my vehicle, so no.
I mean, they're not that dirty.
They've been in here.
That's not good.
We can send for them. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
That's fine.
That's yes. Should you need them, we can definitely send for them.
That is not ominous at all.
Shall we? She just turns and starts walking back towards the vehicle.
I get in the front seat.
She's in the front seat.
Shotgun you want?
You know,
Well,
shotgun,
she's
sorry.
got a driver.
Yeah,
Her-
Yeah, she's got a driver.
Oh, she got a driver.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will get in the back seat.
What kind of car
Sadly.
is she driving? Or are we getting in?
So this is a people mover. Again, with the two back seats happening, or two rows of back seats rather, and it actually looks quite nicely appointed. It's probably a BMW or something like that. The upper crust of soccer mums would pine for this vehicle.
Sort of after Vesper's already kind of sat inside, so that maybe she can't really hear, Riley will say, we should still be aware of what I saw. This still could match.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
Good.
You can see through the
Charlie and I
windscreen.
can sit in the back.
You can see through the windscreen that she is chatting to the driver, but it's not loud enough for you to pick up on what's being said.
That's fine. Riley's happy to sit with Charlie in the back if Sparrow and Jammer want to sit in the middle.
Yep.
It would be appreciated.
Excellent. You enter the vehicle, the side door closes. She says, excellent. Yes, I believe we're good to go. And she indicates to the driver to take off. The driver is a gentleman, short dark hair, nice suit, dark black charcoal. It's a bit hard to tell. It kind of picks up the light in a funny sort of way, especially the yellow light of the car park here. But he just nods and starts the car up again.
Does Riley recognize this dude from their vision at all?
Do either of them fit the description of the person I saw?
They do not, neither of them.
Okay.
No. If we spot another one that is following us, we should be on guard.
Well,
But also, as I said, they can often be metaphors. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to interpret sometimes until it's actually happening, and then I'll be like, there it is.
Oh, I was right. Huh.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Oh, fun.
Vesper is sitting in the front seat, just kind of arms folded in her lap, occasionally looking into the rearview mirror as you chat away, not saying a word, very neutral expression on her face, almost bored with the whole situation.
So, Vesper, can you tell me a little bit more about what this urgent situation is?
We'll give you all the details once we get there. Walls, cars. The world has ears that should probably not be privy to this conversation.
Definitely.
I understand.
We have had
Story checks
some
out.
increased activity in the area, if you understand my meaning.
Oh, I believe we've witnessed said
More than you know.
firsthand.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we've only been here a night.
We believe that
Here is probably not the place. If it's all people listening, maybe it all should wait until...
I was
Or
merely
so
going to
secure.
point out that we had some tailgaters.
oh, how unfortunate.
Riley sort of emphasizes the term tailgaters.
That sounds terrible. Was this on
It really was.
the middle of your journey, the start, the end?
The end drive.
Yeah.
Well, they were there the whole time.
probably
Weren't they there the
before
whole
we-
time? Because it was started at the Sydney Harbour Bridge, so they were there the whole time.
We only noticed them a few hours into the journey, I believe.
I see.
But who knows how long.
So really in the middle of nowhere then?
There are lots
yes.
of cows, if that's any consolation. Quite.
Not to my taste, but takes all sorts, I hear. Ugh. She bristles at the idea. Well, that's very interesting. I will make a note of that. Thank you for that information.
Appreciate it.
While this conversation's occurring, Charlie would like to sense the beast on Vesper.
Right.
Yes, please.
Very specifically, I want to know that level of hostility.
All right. So that is...
Not like the vibes.
Good call.
She's a charming person. What are you talking about? That is your resolve and animalism against her composure and potential subterfuge.
Yeah, of course.
Potentially.
If I could count, I would be dangerous.
Believe me.
Mood.
Composure. For contested rolls, there is no difficulty, is there?
No, there is not.
You just have to beat theirs, I believe.
She is going to use a willpower.
I will burn willpower too. That's going to be 5 successes from Charlie.
She's got 6.
Oh. Balls.
Oh dear.
Willpower and everything.
You start to think that you're kind of eking through the facade, and she just glances up in the rearview mirror at you and raises an eyebrow, smirks a little, and then looks back through the windscreen in front of her.
There's a kind of click as Charlie's jaw clenches.
If Riley could, they would blush from the look that Vesper gave.
It looks like
She very politely says, "It would probably be a wise idea to not attempt that sort of thing when you are in front of the prince."
Attempt what?
Yes.
Oh, I think your friend knows.
I just immediately turned to Charlie.
I was going to say Riley just elbows Charlie like, Charlie!
Dude!
Can we get?
We've gone
can we
over
get
this.
Any names,
New
by the way,
leaf.
ahead of time? Walking in there without knowing anybody's name feels a little bit, I don't know, rude.
Disrespectful.
Right. So you haven't. Okay. No, that's fine. Sorry, I assumed you would have been given the rundown.
Briefed? No.
So.
We have not been told anything.
We know nothing
Oh. How unfortunate.
about this. We know lots about other things, but nothing about this.
Right. Well, I am Vesper. I am Melbourne Seneschal.
Oh,
How do you do?
Quite. The reigning prince is Prince Carter. Rest of the court that you'll probably potentially meet is Robbie, our herald, and Tahib, our sheriff, and she indicates to the gentleman beside her.
Oh, how do you
Hi.
do?
He just nods and keeps driving.
What was the name of the herald and the sheriff again? Sorry?
So the herald's name is Robbie, and the sheriff's name is Tahib.
Thank you.
Is there any more pertinent information I can provide before we reach our destination?
Are there any particular unique etiquette rules in Melbourne that we should be aware of? Or just your standard stuff?
Just your standard stuff. Unless, of course, you're given an edict by the prince, which so very rarely happens these days. But no, just your usual...
Hopefully that's not foreshadowing at all.
I should hope not. I've been told that you commit yourselves with aplomb, hence being taken into the fold so
course.
soon. Right, good.
Of course.
We We're very thorough.
We're very aplomb.
Yeah. Yes.
A quizzical look passes her face where she's just like, what am I doing? Okay. No, so don't feed unless you're given permission in a particular zone.
It's standard.
Hospitality is always extended. Don't abuse it. The usual. Don't embrace. Oh, God.
Oh, obviously. God, could you imagine? Are there any zones, areas that we're not familiar with the geography?
Right. Well,
Anywhere we should stay away from.
that motel for starters.
Believe me.
Don't
I
even.
agree.
Beyond that, there's quite a bit of increased activity by paramilitary forces in and around the
I
city.
see.
Right.
That's what I was worried about. Okay.
I believe everyone's having similar issues.
Yes.
We're attempting to
Correct.
root them out, but, you know, not unlike a hydra, you cut off one head, another arises.
I heard fire is pretty decent at dealing with hydras.
Well, dear,
Not
if
these
you
ones,
want to deal with
Pretty
fire, go
decent
for
dealing
it.
with us too.
I'd rather not be around while it's being handled.
Not me.
The Flagstaff Gardens are a no-go zone. There's trouble of some sort. I'm sure it's temporary. We've got a team on it.
Of course.
Okay.
But other than that, watch out for the northern suburbs. Anarchs have been making incursions. Again, we're trying to keep them penned into their little area, but like the naughty
What's their area meant to be? Just so we know.
just not in the city.
Yeah, fair.
Keep their rabble-rousing out of our town. Thank you very much.
Right.
I hear you've come from Sydney.
Yes.
How quaint. How are things up there?
Quaint.
It's Sydney. Nothing happens after 9 o'clock. It's not a great town for
Yes.
Kindred, I'm gonna be honest. Relieved to be somewhere with a bit of nightlife.
Oh, definitely.
And culture, dare I add.
Yes.
You know what? There might be culture in Sydney during the day, but we don't get to see it. So
I'm sure it's growing on all the cheese up there.
You know, there is a particular politically aligned venture that is trying to remove all those various curfews and stuff that are happening up there. So nightlife might
good.
resume soon.
How
So,
interesting.
I've heard that Melbourne is known for its cafes, but they always seem to be closed during the evenings.
Yes.
So
No.
not
There's
sure
a
what
couple
you
in
get
the
up
city
to.
that I found on Google Maps that are going to be that are open all night long.
Oh, wonderful.
You have mobile phones.
They're all encrypted. They're running on a special operating system that.
Oh, is Melbourne
don't-
I
one
can
of
show
those
you.
cities that doesn't like technology?
Might I make a suggestion?
Well, the camera in general we don't do that. We're under a slightly different situation because of.
Let the seneschal speak, Jam. It's okay.
I can do the thing.
Thank you, Riley. Don't pull them out in front of the prince.
Oh, Lord,
What
no.
the prince doesn't know won't hurt the prince. I find them quite useful. Of course they have dangers, but so does existing these nights.
Exactly.
Don't give us cause to come down any harder on you, and you should be able to keep them. Just be sensible, but it sounds like your friend here, Jammer, was it? Sounds like you've got this all sorted. It shouldn't be a problem at all.
they're very smart when it comes to the technology.
Right. That's lovely. Well, I believe we're almost here. And in fact, as the car has been driving, you've been zipping past sites, lots of lights. Flinders Street Station you definitely see. Go past a couple of the trams that Melbourne's quite famous for. the area is being quite well populated by foot traffic, and you cross over a bridge and see the very well lit Crown Casino complex. The car makes a turn and goes down into the basement basement car park rather, and goes down a few levels until it eventually comes to a stop at what you imagine is a number of levels below the ground. The car stops. Tahib and Vespa both get out and cross a few steps to a waiting elevator, where they open the elevator doors and turn around and wait for you.
Well,
I'm gonna unzip my laptop bag and just feed to everyone, just like, maybe we just pop phones in here for the duration.
Probably would be best.
It's all confirmation. It's nothing.
I was going to say, no guarantee, but my milk sensors, as some of you like to call them, Vespa foreshadowed at least 5 times. We should be aware of such things.
Yeah.
I did pick up on it just a little.
Yeah. In the
That's
bag.
where my curiosity got the best of me. As he slips his phone into
If this was a stage show, it would be a great time to drop in potential plot hooks, that's all I'm saying.
As this is happening, I'm getting out and like opening the door and pulling the seat down so they can get out.
Yeah.
Riley will get out as well.
Noted.
follows.
As everyone gets out of the vehicle, Tahib pulls the keys out of the pocket again, pushes a button, all of the doors close, pushes another button and it all locks. He steps into the elevator and Vespa waves a hand and gestures that you should also follow suit.
That is a very fancy car.
Follow on in.
I follow.
Vespa just raises an eyebrow. Excellent. She enters, the doors close, she pushes a button, and then goes, "Oh, Tahib, would you mind, please?" Tahib pulls out a swipe card, swipes it, and pushes another button. The elevator ascends very quickly.
I'm going to exchange a glance with Sparrow at the swipe card. Like when it gets swiped, and it's taken. I'm just going to Sparrow just real quick.
As I nod, I also, and like it starts to go up, I like put my hand on the rails to be like, "Ooh, it's going real fast."
Mm-hmm.
Eventually it comes to a stop. It dings, the doors open, and where you entered the elevator with brightly lit concrete, stale smell in the air, this is very, very stark contrasting. It's plush carpets, wooden walls, very soft but warm lighting, some nice music appears to be playing very softly as well. It smells like sandalwood and is that orange blossom? It's quite nice. Vespa sighs and exits the elevator, starting to walk down to the left-hand side. Tahib is just standing with his hand holding the elevator doors open.
Thank you, Tahib. And trots out.
He just nods.
Thank you, Sheriff.
He gets another nod.
Thank you.
He gets a nod.
Nod, just remains quiet.
He exits and follows behind you. I assume you're all following Vespa?
Of course.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm,
You walk down this hallway almost to the very end and are met by a bright red door with gold handle and gold hinges. All looks like it's been very brightly polished quite recently. Excuse me. Vespa opens the door and enters, just standing inside the door, holding it open for you all. As the door opens, you hear someone who is not right where you are, maybe quite a distance away, but still in the same room, speaking. It's a woman's voice and says, Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Baker, but you did say that if you can't get it out of them in 3 nights, then there was no information to get? Yes. Excellent, that's what I thought. So you'll get your report to me tonight? Unless, of course, you didn't manage to get the intel? Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Excellent. I'll make sure the courier arrives safely then. Bye! Before you hear something being put down on a table, and Vespa enters the room proper, gesturing that you should follow with her.
I do so.
Oh, I most definitely do.
This room is stunning. It is, well, maybe not for Charlie. It's parquetry floors, very highly polished. The parts of the walls that aren't covered by rich red velvet drapes are a very dark, sumptuous green. The floor-to-ceiling windows are looking out over the Yarra River, showing the nightlife, the lights of the city, people walking across bridges. Every now and then you do catch the fire plumes that are on the Yarra. It's quite something. A woman dressed in a black evening gown, a little bit strappy, but she does have a sheer floor length, almost like a coat on over the top, and a very well maintained head of blonde curls, turns around and says, "Oh, Vespa, thank you. Thank you for bringing them so quickly." Vespa says, "My prince." And the woman, who you now know is Prince Carter, addresses you and says, "Thank you so much for attending promptly. Welcome to Melbourne, the cultural capital of Australia." She gestures over to a setting of couches and chairs around a small coffee table, smiles and says, "Shall we discuss business then?"
Of course.
A delight to meet you, Prince Carter.
Quite, yes, excellent.
Lovely to meet you.
Wonderful. Please take a seat.
Jammer is absolutely
Take a
looking
seat.
around for cameras and looking at the windows and trying to catch any electronic stuff. Just she's not doing it suspiciously just because she's a nerd. Like, it's clearly just this is I do this in every room.
Wonderful. I'll get a wits plus awareness from you, please, Jammer.
Riley sits down at the gestured chairs.
Excellent.
Sit down across my legs.
Take a seat as well.
Ooh, 3.
3. Excellent. For 3, you do not see any cameras. You do see that there is some sort of sensor on the windows. There's no curtain in front of like the catch on them, so you can see that there is something that might trigger an alarm if they're opened. There is a telephone on the table, but other than that, this room is quite devoid of electronics. Riley, one thing you do notice in particular about this room is everything has been placed in quite a particular manner. The prince's table is very central to the room. Her chair is central to the table. This little seating area is ever so slightly off-center. There is a carpet on the ground, and the couches and the chairs are ever so slightly off-center from that. It's almost as though she's orchestrated this entire area to keep people out of their comfort zone. Just have them on their toes a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
You in particular as well, do also hear what at first appears to be a tick, tick, tick that isn't coming from your pocket watch. However, as you listen a little bit closer, you realize it's not a ticking clock. It's more like something is moving that's making a tick because it's not regular.
Oh, Riley's going to be very distracted throughout this entire conversation.
Oh, she's
as
definitely
they
trying
start to like look around to see if they can locate the source of the ticking noise, one could say.
Excellent. If you would like, you can make me a Wits plus awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the prince has come to stand just in front of you. She is not seating. And Vespa and Tahib are both over by the door still. Tahib is just standing there, and Vespa is clearly looking for further instruction.
I got 3 successes.
For 3 successes, you find nothing in this room that could be the source of the ticking.
The Kogoro would definitely notice, even though like Riley tries to keep their cool because they understand etiquette, that something's clearly upsetting them to some degree. Like their back has suddenly become very straight.
I'll give a reassuring touch to the knee and a bit of a squeeze of it's okay.
And even though Riley doesn't need to, they blink in tune with the ticking that they can hear.
Ugh.
Excellent. Well, that is where we will end this session for tonight.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
So tense.
Thank you.
Cliffhanger. No.
Thank you so much for coming and playing with me. For everyone who is watching, thank you for watching. We are playing The Rose That Bleeds, a vampire chronicle written for ARC. I have been Nefsis Nile, your storyteller, and these are our vampires. Would you like to let everyone know where they can find you? Jammer?
Hi, I'm Alex. I play Gemma. You can find me across the internet in various places under VLXCAT. And that's pretty much everywhere, yeah.
Excellent. Charlie?
I'm Nick. I was Charlie the Gangrel. You can follow me on Instagram at nic.logue. I post memes, music, wrestling, vampire, all of the above. Mostly in story form.
Excellent. Riley?
I'm Kiki, as I've been playing Riley. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Vecna_Ki, so that's VEKNA_KI. I post things about tabletop. I cook sometimes. I do a bit of art. It's a whole combination of things.
Nice. And Sparrow?
I'm Sam. I've been playing Sparrow. I don't have much of an online presence, but most platforms have me as Plague Maiden with a underscore at the end. It's down below.
Excellent. If you'd like to find out more about tabletop games, you can search for ARC or the Australian role-playing community online. And I'd like to once again thank Arkenforge for the maps we are using tonight. Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.